And welcome.
Welcome.
So,
Another episode, another weekly episode.
That's right.
And here we are again. Today we have some announcements to say.
Yep.
We have a new person working with us, and we're going to announce it very soon. We're going to discuss a bit more, like we did last week, about World Pro Racing.
I'm actually
And-
checking the audio.
There is audio. Hopefully, there is audio. And
Yeah, it's quite low, but there is audio.
let me check. Yes, it's quite low. Let me set it up. There's something wrong in the audio today. So, channel mixer.
Yeah. So we're just checking our audio.
Won't be fine. Now it's okay. I'm sure it's okay because
Yeah,
The mixer is showing
that's right. It's actually showing higher levels. So as Justin said, we have some announcements this week to make. Some new people working with us. As we announced also in our previous show, we're going to look at new platforms, and our next platform will be actually R Factor 2.
yes,
And,
as we already announced that we
that's
will be
right.
using R Factor 2, and we have not yet decided which mod we're going to choose. Definitely, we're going to use one of the events is going to be an endurance event
Sure.
with R Factor 2. Definitely, that's going to happen. Hopefully, we get a good amount of people and
Yeah.
drivers taking part. And obviously, that's why we moved to increase our manpower to have a person
right.
working on solely on R Factor 2.
Dedicated
Yes.
to R Factor 2.
He's an experienced person, and he's been working in R Factor for quite a good time. Obviously, we'll continue discussing with him more and get to know him much better, even ourselves, because we only
So-
discussed various stuff at the beginning of our events, and then obviously we continue to work along with Joshua Penny,
That's right.
and sort of we continued liaising with him. But
That's right.
the bone of Sim News is
Yeah,
this person.
is
So
this way.
obviously people know that Sim News TV are taking care of our broadcasting, as in the commentary. So thanks to Sim News that found
Yeah, that's right.
provided Joshua
Provided
Penny,
this Joshua
and
Penny, and obviously
I have
believed
no
in us.
regrets about it.
Definitely not. Not even
He's a
myself.
great guy, and I mean, we started together, we growed together,
Together, we grew
and
together.
I'm very happy for him that he was selected
Yeah,
and chosen to also commentate in a sport, a real motorsport event,
Yep.
and we are happy, very happy for it. So that's our aim of World Pro Racing.
That's right.
From sim racing to motorsport, giving incentives, giving opportunities to the
Please.
drivers. So
George just said hello to us.
that's
Hello,
the idea.
George.
Hello, George. That's the idea of World Pro Racing.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
going to be the second level of motorsport after sim racing, because with just sim racing only, it's okay, it's fun, it's professional, but then you need the dream of your life
That's right.
to get into the seat of the car and race your car. What do they call race room? Just announced that there's a leaderboard going
Yeah.
on at the moment, and the winners will have
The
a
Expo,
yes. There's the Expo, and there's also the Porsche.
The Porsche, yeah.
And the winners will get a full season in 2019 in a real
The
motorsport season. So very well done for
race room.
Race Room and Robert, especially because I know Robert, who's the head of esports. So yes, that's what we're doing. We're not trying to compete with other companies.
No,
We're
not at
doing
all.
our best from our knowledge, due to having quite a good number of contacts in motorsport, and with our knowledge, we're going to help people around
That's
who
right.
are willing to commit themselves in sim racing, and then we give them the opportunity to race in motorsport.
Definitely, it's all about commitment, starting from sim racing and especially also going to the real motorsport world. We believe that, listen, to be a success, and even in sim racing, you need to be committed and obviously give your all. Till now, we've seen drivers starting with us that obviously been improving through the from one race to the other, and obviously we're seeing also more commitment from their side. So as always, we say to our viewers, if you have any questions, we're here. We like to interact, and if you have any questions during our course of this broadcast of today, please feel free to send us messages on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be happy to answer. So we'll announce our guest of today.
Yes, of course. Today we have Mike Pittman. Many people know who Mike Pittman is. For those who don't know, Mike Pittman is the person behind simnews.tv, who are taking care of various broadcasts like GPVWC and various other sim racing leagues organizers, including our Porsche Championship and also our casual races. And since we have launched World Pro Racing, and we've been saying this a lot, that we need more people. In fact, we have a list of carriers for internships which will eventually turn into leads to a full-time job or a part-time job. Depends on the need of it. And obviously I discussed this with Mike, and he was very happy with this, that we offered him this post. First of all, thank you to all those who applied.
Yeah.
As we had over 70 applicants, but most of them, they were from US and Canada, which for us it's a bit of
for certain
yes, for certain, especially for this role.
That's right.
For an Factor 2 leagues coordinator. It's quite impossible for us to allow people from US, which they have a different time zone than us. So obviously we cannot do that. There are two other posts. There's the video editor as well. So that's not that much of an issue, because once you give the task to the video editor, as long as they keep it on time, then we have no problems. But anyway, so welcome, Mike, to today's show. Can you tell us a bit something about yourself? How long have you been in sim racing, and up till now, along with working with us, with our organization and our type of events, some experiences that you might had in the past, and how long have you been in sim racing?
Your experience with us till today.
Exactly.
Well, hi. I'm going to get a bit feedback, that's but right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me on here, and thank you very much for getting me involved in this, what I think is going to be an incredible project going forward. As for myself, I've actually been, for my sins, I think, been in sim racing now since 2004. I started out at that point as a lowly student, just enjoying sim racing back then. But sim racing itself evolved massively and quickly. So in that time, we set up Sim News TV, and we've been running that now for about 2 years now. Loving the great broadcasts. Every week we're doing different broadcasts and shows as well around sim racing on many different platforms. I'm also the owner of ACL Zach Speed. Esports team there with Zach Speed, the race team, ex-Formula 1 team. And then I've been admin at GPWC.com, or GPWC Sim Racing as it's now known, which also has its link up now with WTF1. There's so much going on in the world of esports and sim racing itself, so it's just an incredible time. And when I got the opportunity to jump on board with this, and seeing what sim racing roles and World Pro Racing has managed to do in such a short space of time, so I applaud you guys on that. I think there's so much more we can do bringing that to the RFX 2 world. I think it'll be really exciting as well. I can see there's huge things in the future from this side of things. I'm very glad to be on board and be able to mould that to this community and really build it up.
So yes, obviously we're going to meet in September, because we're going to be all there in Sim Expo. So obviously we're going to meet for the first time together, face to face. So I'm sure that we're going to have quite a lot to say. And yes, so we have quite a lot to do, especially to build the community of our Factor, because all our community, most of them are of Assetto Corsa, which there is a huge community as well, but obviously we cannot keep up with only just one platform. So R Factor has been for a long time, since obviously R Factor 1, which the first professional sim platform that I started with long time ago, and then due to being part in real motorsport drifting, then Assetto Corsa was much more better for drifting than in R Factor from our practices and tryouts that we did. And so then we got stuck to Assetto Corsa, not because Assetto Corsa is not good, but R Factor, obviously, since been a long time since it was published, obviously we cannot miss R Factor 2 from the platforms that we're going to be using as for our casual races and also for our championships. So Mr. Mike Pittman, who will be coordinating and finding good mods, organizing the leagues, and making sure that the community is growing, and that's the target for us at the moment, is to grow the community of our of sim racing Malta, and eventually also World Pro Racing. So that's basically it. Mike will be taking care of the R Factor 2 platform and the community of R Factor 2, which he, compared to us, he's much more informed and updated with R Factor 2, although I'm helping in the development of R Factor 2 in the overlays of the live streaming, but depends on the amount of free time, which I don't know what free time means at the moment, but I'm doing my best. But as I said, I watch also the GPVWC broadcasts, which they are great. Obviously we will still be probably keeping to broadcast it ourselves, as in switching the cars and the cameras, but we might in the future leave it up to simnews.tv. Although we have a broadcasting, obviously we still need to do the recordings, do the live shows, do many other things. So we start having all these necessary things under control. For example, I can take care of much other things, technical things, testing cars and other stuff.
Actually, there is a big thing we're looking at now, as Justin is saying. We're trying to obviously now set ourselves in a much more stable manner. That's why also last week we gave you some tasters of our new studio. So that obviously will give us much a better position, put us much a better position, obviously, to look at other things and be more like more professional, more comfortable, and obviously it will help us even to have some more time. This is, as you can see, it's a temporary setup we're using, thanks obviously to George and KSL for giving us this opportunity to. George is also one of our partners, one of the directors in Sim Racing Malta and World Pro Racing. We're using this temporary setup, but obviously it's not always comfortable. So we're looking at setting up a comfortable situation. We're also looking at having people taking care of various platforms and races. So finally we give a great end product also to our drivers, to our followers, because the drivers want to have fun. Till today we have positive feedback from what we've done in Assetto Corsa in the last months, so that is good. But as Justin said, Mike has much more experience with R Factor 2, and I think
he's more focused on R Factor than other platforms, so he was the ideal person. I have had a lot of applications, and as I mentioned with Mike, there were good applicants and professional, but first of all, I know Mike. I know Mike as in, I mean, we are working together currently, and obviously
he should tell us also a little bit about his experience in the last few months.
Yes,
working
obviously
with us.
I couldn't miss not to tell Mike about this opportunity, and I think from now that this will be a huge step for us in sim racing, because including R Factor 2, which I know there is a good amount of a number of people there which are focused on improving themselves
Yeah.
and more professional. I'm not saying that Assetto Corsa drivers are not. I'm one of the Assetto Corsa drivers, and our team also
Yes.
used to race in Assetto Corsa.
And we still have members using, still
exactly.
racing in Assetto Corsa.
We're
so.
still going to organize casual races with Assetto
Definitely.
Corsa, but we're going to include as well casual races with our Factor 2
And leagues
as well.
and
Definitely
championships.
leagues, championships as well, especially leagues and championships in our Factor 2. Because there is a huge amount of drivers there who don't just race for fun and
No, they take it on a professional level also.
Exactly. There are people who take it for fun, but there are many other drivers as well who wants to improve on their skill and move to the next level of.
We can ask Mike his experience in the past
Exactly.
years with R Factor 2, how he saw these changes in R Factor from R Factor to R Factor 2, how he saw also, I don't know, the community, how it is in R Factor 2, because obviously, what do you think, Mike, of what I'm asking actually about R Factor 2?
Well, R Factor 2 is a completely different beast to R Factor 1. I still remember being back there racing with that sort of stuff. R Factor 2 is arguably, and it's quite controversial I suppose, but it's arguably the closest you can get to real racing at the moment on the sort of budgets we're talking. It's the more pro version of R Factor 2 is what a lot of race teams use as their simulator base. So if you really want to move into motor racing, R Factor 2 is probably the closest you're going to get, and you're going to be set up in the best stage. I was very lucky in the last year to have had Ruud van Buren come from my team and be taken to McLaren, to see that firsthand, working with him through the whole world's fastest gamer side of stuff, to actually then, from what is primarily a R Factor 2 base, to then actually get working in McLaren as a simulator driver now for them. It is an incredible feat, and something that I'm sure he won't be the last one that we've seen. We saw the race to Vegas, the $1 million race to Vegas, a couple of years back now. That was on R Factor 2 as well, with the Formula E, which also has now an official mod on R Factor 2. I should mention, if anyone's watching this that's an Assetto Corsa guy and thinks, well, actually, I'd like to get involved in the casual races, R Factor 2 currently on sale on Steam in their sale, so now's a good time to get hold of it, along with some of the added content is also on sale currently. Just a little one, if you're debating it, why not go for it now? R Factor 2 is an incredible system really, and not that Assetto Corsa isn't, that it's absolutely looks stunning and it equally is very good as well. I'm quite biased, obviously being the R Factor 2 guy, but I'm always going to promote our brand. But it's a great, absolutely fantastic, and they've been moving in the last year, particularly since it changed and is now under Studio 397, having been bought out from the original game. They've been developing it a lot more. There's a lot more official content coming out. There's a lot more deals with certain tracks and particular mods that they can come out as official content. R Factor 2 is predominantly a modder's kind of paradise. It was set up to be modded and made third-party content. So there's an awful lot of that around, but for actual official stuff, and some of that is fantastic quality anyway. So that's the sort of thing. I'm sure we'll probably use a mix of both. And the whole, I love the idea here that we can do certain casual races, but on probably certain, some tracks and some modded bits and pieces, and then probably the proper championships on some official content. There's some great things out there. And I hope you all the existing people that watch Sim Racing Malta and World Pro Racing here get involved in it. But at the same time, I think there'll be an awful lot of new blood that will be coming into the community as well. So welcome them with open arms, lads.
Yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking to which since we started in Sim Racing Malta, we started for not for fun. We knew where we wanted to go, but while you were talking and I was saying, we arrived to a point where we are currently working with a motorsport company, working on the car, modifying the virtual car, and applying the info from the real car to the virtual car. So for me, not because we've done it or I've did it or he've done it, I mean it's because it's ours. I'm very impressed of the level that we in a few months, because we are barely 1 year we started. So because actually we started in January with the professional championship with the Porsche, and that's our main target of World Pro Racing, to see the promising drivers who start from very basic races. Well, so sometimes they are not very basic races, the casual races.
Yeah,
starting
that's
from
right.
the last casual race that we've done. I
was-
put the first race in last lap highlights. It was crazy
Yeah,
between
that's
Bernard and Leslie. So, but that's the purpose of the casual races, to start with a basic level of a driver just
That's it.
starting, and then gradually you find this driver, or find him or her. Hopefully we get a her sometimes. You see the progression of this driver. For example, Jonah Juice, who started very recently, and
Sim racing, yeah.
yes, he started in the casual races, and gradually he's improving. Improving by what? Not just to win the race. He never won a race yet. He just came podium last race. But when you check the times, the consistency of the times,
Yeah.
they are getting better. So that's our target is being achieved.
Yeah.
That's our target, not to
That's
see a pile up in the first corner.
No, definitely
That's one
not.
of the things
That's
that we hate.
something that actually was quite avoided last time. There was a slight incident, but obviously we do expect incidents also from newcomers which are not so much experienced. But as Justin said, we saw also the progression in the last few weeks, some weeks of Jonah Jones himself and his consistency. So that is something that when we see these things, it's an achievement for us. We enjoy it. So we're always looking, as Mike said, also to include new blood in our casual races and our leagues. So we keep the community growing and obviously giving the opportunity to these drivers. As we always said, we know that history always taught us that, listen, not all the best drivers have the budgets to get to real
Exactly.
racing.
That's one of our
So-
reasons.
So we're here also to create opportunities to these people that definitely deserve to have a try in the real world of racing, because we see the maximum potential of them.
Good to mention.
Like Mike mentioned also Van Buren.
Yeah, of course.
We saw where he is today, so he's a simulator driver with McLaren. So I think it's great.
Well, and also, yes, sim racing is proven that, and you had one today who just confirmed, and
Somebody that didn't believe that
in sim racing.
sim racing can be so near to the real world of racing, but he actually called us and he actually came here today and he told us, guys, listen, what you told me before is the truth, because I've seen it with my own eyes and touched it with my own hands. So I think it's great to hear this feedback, and obviously people starting to believe in that. Listen, sim racing today is very near to the real world of racing and can give you opportunities and also training opportunities for various drivers.
And of course, it's not just sometimes. Even the equipment you have make it much closer to the reality. I'm not going to mention any
Brand.
brands, as in, but we can say with the products that we have, we went very close to the real racing.
That's we have come. It's good also that there are these companies, main manufacturers, new companies surfacing that are working hard to make such equipment which gives you the real feel of the real world of racing, because that also it's part of the whole package when you're sitting in a simulator and you're having the full not the full feel, but obviously when you're getting the feel of a real car, what would it feel like on a track. So
Yeah.
that is very, very, very important. And as Mike well said also, that some big manufacturers and racing car racing companies do use also R factor
Yeah, of course. In fact,
for their own simulators.
yes, there are. This has been said by person in charge in R factor, that there are Formula One companies that took a chunk of R factor and
Yeah.
replaced their software into R factor, which I heard this in a speech. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah, there's nothing hidden. It's not,
hidden. I
no-
mean, it's
it's
and
not-
it's
no-
good for
no
the
secret.
it's something good for the platform of R factor. I mean, when having a
And-
Formula One or not just Formula One, other
but-
motorsport manufacturers that are using R factor as a motorsport package
Yeah, sure.
from a sim racing and including their part in that software, in that platform.
And today we also know, and it is proven that listen, motorsport racing teams do use simulators for obviously setting their real cars on particular tracks.
You have
So
just
it's
said
a
it.
reverse.
Why Van Buren is working with McLaren
That's right.
as this, at the
So it's a
simulator.
reverse thing where you have data from the real car being sent to the simulator, and obviously optimized data resent back to be put on the car. So this puts all the context that we've been talking about for a lot of months and weeks, which
Actually, I think more than a year we've been talking about
Yeah.
simulation, that it really works when practicing before going into the
Sure.
real world.
And as Mike said, he has a first-hand experience also with one of his drivers
Yes, exactly.
joining McLaren.
So with going back to Mike and our Factor 2, with Mike's help.
Actually, he shared already the link for Steam.
Yep,
Mike,
of course. So we're definitely
because
100%.
there are sales.
Yes, there are currently sales of our Factor 2. We're definitely in the very near future. We're going to use. We start with a casual race just to get the hang of the feeling of
That's
our
right.
Factor 2, because obviously between one platform and another there's a difference. Even in the aspect of force feedback. So also the mod does make an impact on the force feedback. A few days ago I tried a BTCC, a mod of 2017 BTCC, and the force feedback on our simulator, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And this can
Obviously,
be
the mods there are there are good mods and there are
well.
mods. So
I
so
still
that-
respect
that
those who
makes-
tried, but
Yeah,
yes, there
that's
are
right.
good mods and there are less good. let's
mods.
say,
Yeah.
you know, let's say they're not it.
Yeah,
No,
there
but-
are, but let's say there are from the three of them.
Yes.
Because sometimes
Yes.
people just try it. It's nice because obviously
The worst
you
part is
respect.
when they stop not the production,
the-
working on it, and they
yeah.
leave it like that, you know?
That's the worst part. But definitely with people with experience in particular
Modeling and
platforms, yeah, even in particular platforms, they can source out the best mods
Yeah,
that
of
there
course.
are around for that particular platform. So
And for those who are watching and would like to just give us their opinions
Sure.
of which, obviously there need to be a mod in our Factor, obviously, which they are interested in to organize ourselves the event, just send us a message, or you can type on the chat, on our live chat, if you want BTCC, you want formulas, you want GT3s. We do it along with our community. As I used to do it, and I'm still doing with our Factor, I'm now with Assetto, I'm asking the community to tell me which one would you like
Yes.
to race.
so that you
For
get the most
example,
feedback.
next casual race, not the one that the endurance tomorrow, next casual race probably is going to be with the McLaren Formula car, because that is the most chosen by the community. It doesn't mean that the other one we're not going to do it, but I'm going to see what the community
feedback.
wants.
That's right.
Because, I mean, even this, for the platforms, for the sim racing platforms, if you don't get the feedback from the community, then I'm not going to mention any platforms, because there are various platforms that you ask them for something and you cannot reach them at all. For no reason. It's either they don't want to communicate with us, or
they are too proud to
or
communicate.
not. But I'm going to mention those who worked with us. For example, Marcel Offermans, that is the managing director of our Factor 2, who is a very down-to-earth person, and I communicate with him like he is my brother. So thank you, Marcel, for accepting my
Your input.
inputs and replying back, because we are all humans.
Sure.
And there's nothing, because
Normal
you are the
communication.
managing director, it means that you are above everyone, and
Sure.
you need from the community, and I appreciate what you have done and what you're doing, because the feedback of the community makes the platform much better.
There is
And
also
once you do a
other-
platform which is closed,
Sure.
then you're ready. Because why? This comes to my mind now. So if you want sim racers to prove that simulation is good, and you go to motorsport after, why don't you get the feedback from the drivers?
Sure.
for example, in September, I'm going to be, or you can come as well, Adrian will be discussing with me. We have a few minutes to talk about World Pro Racing at Sim Expo.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not just because I want to talk and be on the stage just to see me there and say hi, mom, or
Yeah, definitely.
because we have a good package to provide to the drivers. We have contacts. There are people who would like to invest. And invest means not get the money and we are rich. No, we put the money to the drivers.
Yeah,
We
sure.
use the money to help the drivers. Not all drivers, there are drivers out there who are professionals and didn't have the money.
And
you can
unfortunately, you
talk-
go to races and see drivers which have the money, and when you see them race, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god. They're racing there because obviously they have the money. So
Yes.
we're gonna try to match.
And it's still, you need money to race.
You still need money, but it is one thing that you going to racing because you have the money,
Yeah.
and you just have the money, want to buy a car, I don't mention which brand, for the race I was, and you just go and race, and you know what I mean, make thousands and tens of
Of
thousands
damages.
of damages to your car. Or else those people who are really, some people do, they are really good in racing, they have the money and they do it. There are people that unfortunately are good in racing and don't have the money to reach there. Or they start and obviously they stop because it becomes more demanding. So we're trying to give that opportunity to people we see that with great potential and can do it.
And
So,
obviously, because you said we're trying, and I always tell Adrian when we're not live, please stop
no,
say the
trying.
word trying.
We
But this
are.
time, yes, we are trying because it's not easy.
it's not easy.
Because to someone invest on us, on our project, they need to believe in us. We need to show them the proof. What proof do you have that you're going to give the opportunity to the drivers? Who are you?
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, with Adrian and George being FIA licensed stewards, I am the technical person behind all the stuff and showing a good package when we are on live.
Yeah.
That is the only proof. That is the only proof. We have contacts as well, and people are recommending us because we are good people and we do the best. We do our utmost to see a driver up there winning a championship on a podium. Not because we can say this. There are many people trying to do harm to us because they cannot reach our type of level that we are in.
Yeah,
It's
we
very
listen.
simple.
We did actually. People do believe in us because there is proof in the. Actually, he's Mike Pittman.
Mike is excited.
He's already on his
Yes,
job.
and
already,
that's one of the good things because sorry to interrupt,
No problem.
but since I've seen the message of Mike on Discord,
Discord.
I just seen a pop-up. I haven't read it all.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
I don't know much, Mike. We haven't met at all yet. But when I feel something about a person, I never go wrong.
Yeah,
Hopefully, I don't go wrong. I'm sure that Mike will do well because he's dedicated. He also have a job.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, he has to do it in his free time. And yes, I accept that he can do it in his free time. But I know that he is dedicated enough to do a well job.
Yeah,
Obviously,
good
he's not
job.
going to do it alone because I'm going to be there with him all the time, along him. So if something happens, I'll be there to back him up. Probably it's the other way around because I'm not that much updated in our Factor 2. I forgot everything, and there are many things changed
Not everything.
since. Oh no,
You forgot a lot.
Yes, but I forgot quite a lot of.
And
of
there
stuff.
are obviously definitely a lot of updates since you have
Yeah.
been on spot on R Factor 2 until today, so definitely you'll be there. So what I was saying,
Yeah.
sorry, how to now re-interrupt you. It's like, listen, people do believe in us also from our past experiences, from the past experiences they had with us, and from the way we do our events, how we do our jobs, we do everything. So they believe in us because they've touched with us and they saw, listen, if we're gonna do something, or we're going to do it in the right way, in the good way, and at a professional level, or otherwise we do nothing. So it's been like this. A lot of people have been asking us, listen, when you're gonna start a new platform, etc. etc. As you can see, we worked on it. We didn't speak so much about it, But obviously, we needed to have the right.
We were not ready.
We are not ready to do it, and we're not just gonna try and do a casual race or do a race just for fun. And obviously enough, something happens and the people driving and watching us will not enjoy it. So
Yeah.
now is the time. As you can see, Justin, obviously more than me, didn't stop working because he's the guy more dedicated towards this stuff. They didn't stop, and this is the fruit of what we're doing, which in the very, very, very near future, our next platform will be
Yes.
live with World Pro Racing and Sim Racing
Yes,
Model.
and-
Thanks
and-
also to the big input of Mike.
Of course, yes. Mike is going to be the main person of our Factor 2. Actually, he is the coordinator of the R Factor 2 leagues, events,
yes.
and casual races. Obviously, he will be liaising with me to see and test the cars, obviously, to check that they are
Justin
well.
loves to test the
Yes,
cars.
I love my job.
Yeah, but actually that is a stress reliever
Yes,
also for him. When
yes.
he goes into the simulator, he's like stress relieving. So
and
that's good.
and because people say, wow, he's working on simulation, and it's not easy at all. It's not easy. You have to test the cars. I mean, but it was a dream job.
Yeah.
I had many dreams. This was one of the most, and I achieved it, and I want to achieve more.
There
the
are
thing
more
is-
goals
yes,
to come. So
There are more goals, and the thing is, believe me or not, the achievement, my next achievement, is to see a sim racer starting with a casual race, going into a professional league that we organize, and then I see him on a Formula 4 or a Formula 3 or whatever. Doesn't have to be Formula 1,
No, no,
but
no, no,
even
no,
in
no.
a Seat,
In a series.
Seat championship,
Series, oh.
or a Clio,
Yeah.
or a whatever
Clio
it
Cup.
is. It could be even an autocross, whatever.
that's right.
But I want to see a driver from sim racing goes into motorsport. This is nothing new.
No,
I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just going along with it, but doing it in a professional way.
We're not
Sometimes,
reinventing the wheel. We're just putting the
exactly.
spokes in the right way.
sometimes people are against us because we move and work along the rules. Come to safety, come to organizing. We cannot say because this one, yes, you can go or you can do this or that. No, we are very strict in what we do, especially myself during live streaming events. Sometimes even when we do penalties, I mean, we do it professionally. There's
That's
no other way that we do, or we try to close one eye for something or
No,
not.
definitely.
Even our team,
Yeah.
we had issues before in a race. No, the decision has been taken, and you have been penalized. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it,
There's
yeah,
no. You
that's
can
it.
comment about it. You can argue about it, but the decision has been taken. The stewards decide, and that's their final say.
Yeah.
And you have to do it, and you have to accept it in a professional way. One of the things that we impose on is being a professional driver.
Definitely.
Being,
And being a professional,
not just winning a race. In everything.
Being professional, it's being driving, it's your presentation, it's how you talk, it's how you talk during interviews. It's a whole package, you know what I mean? It's like not just one thing. So, listen, we get you there, we want you to listen to us, we talk this to our team.
Hello, Tarsi.
There was Tarsi. Yeah, all right. Hello, Tarsi.
Those cameras.
We soon need them. Need them.
Yes.
So it's like, listen. When we talk to people, we tell them for their own good. We know that you need to present yourself. We know how you need to talk. We know how you need to be during an interview. So listen, being professional doesn't mean winning on the track, doing good races on the track, but get the whole package, and we believe definitely you'll manage to get there, because we saw improvements and people taking
You have to build.
taking our advices that
Yes.
really did improve.
For even, let's say there's a casual race.
And Mike, we left him there.
Sorry.
We're talking a lot.
Yes, Mike, you're still with us, right? Yes.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes, he is. Well, I mean, obviously, Mike enjoys listening to these things
Sure,
because
sure.
we're in the same line.
We
But
have the same
yes,
wave.
what I was going to say is, once you get into a race, not even just a sim racing, even a motorsport race, especially a real motorsport event, but let's say sim racing, when you just get into the server, you have to build your character there.
Yeah.
Being a clean driver, if you hit somebody, not on purpose, let's say, because this never happened, and it's
last casual race,
it's not going to
headache,
happen.
yes.
Sorry?
Last casual
Yes,
race.
yes. But if you hit somebody and you think that it's your fault, just let him pass again. You have to be...
That is your way
That
of...
is being professional.
That's right. That's the way of being professional, and that's the way... Listen, how can you improve yourself and take the respect from other drivers? Because, listen, when you did these things, you gain the respect from the other drivers. Listen, he's a clean driver. He did it. Unfortunately, we hit, but listen, he gave me back my position. So these are things that make you gain respect.
And this one of our first experiences in Sim Expo. We're going to, for sure, definitely experience this. We are already professionals because we go to motorsport events abroad, here in Malta. We know how to be professional. But, and even our drivers, we have experienced ones. But there are new ones as well that they're going to meet with professional drivers there, and they have to show that they are as good as they are.
Sure.
Be polite. There are many ways which drivers do not know about these things, and they are the first things that they need to learn before.
So also for some of the drivers, as you're saying, from our team, is going to be the first big experience for them in sim racing, being there with the top drivers.
In sim racing, it's for us all. Even for me,
for us.
I mean, I've
as
been
a first hand, but obviously for them it's gonna be more because they're gonna be sitting down and driving. So
they're going to prove themselves that they are good drivers.
That's right.
So
that's right. So, but basically, that's very, very, very positive.
Yeah. So we had quite a lot to say today, almost an hour already.
Yeah.
But we have much more things as well to say, but we had to start with the announcement of Mike Pittman being the person who will be in charge coordinating the R Factor 2 events. So I'm sure my mind is at rest because I know he's going to do his job right. I don't call it his job or my job. I mean his role actually, not a job.
That's right.
I mean his
that's
role
the best,
is going to be perfect, I'm sure, and hopefully the most important thing for me, in my opinion, and I'm sure that it's yours as well, is to grow the community, to have more drivers, which is the problem of many other as well league organizers. Okay, we have just started, not even a year, but to the level we are at the moment, and also to the amount of viewership and reach that we have, it's quite good. I'm not happy yet. I'm never happy, but Joshua's watching us.
Fantastic.
Hello, Joshua.
Just mentioned, I think he saw the comment of Mike.
Yes,
so.
I was saying with the amount of reach and viewers, we are happy compared with other league organizers. But as I was saying, I'm never happy because I always want more. And that's when you be ambitious. It's the good thing in a business that you want always to improve. Not because Adrian is not and George is not. But yes, I'm taking care, especially the esports part, and I want it to succeed. And
everybody wants it to succeed.
Obviously, to succeed in a way that we see the result when having a sim racer starting from sim racing Malta casual races, going to R Factor 2 casual races in a championship, professional championship, and winning and having a seat in motorsport. It doesn't have to be a sim racer, because that's another thing. Because I always
have a
think about
reverse thing actually.
We are also helping out engineers, people who set up the car. They will help the drivers to set up the car and gain more experience in the simulation, because you don't have to be the engineer of the real car. You can be the engineer in the setup of the car virtually.
Yeah, it's important
so
actually.
We have many opportunities for jobs now. These are jobs, not roles. These are jobs that you can enter into with our help, because it's not just the driver to get a seat in motorsport. Engineers and people in the pits, many other things. There are people who just do the delivery of the car.
Yeah, that's right. That's another opportunity.
So in the wind finder I was going to say.
Wind tunnels.
The wind tunnels taking care of the aerodynamics of the car. So there are hundreds of thousands of kind of jobs, and that's what we are trying, I'm going to say, because I'm not going to say that's what we are doing. We are leading to do that, but we are trying and finding the best and suitable motorsport companies that work along with us, which we do have already, and we have to increase more the partnership with other companies and give you the opportunities, not for us, give you the opportunities. That's our main target. Believe it or not, you might say this is too good to be true, but that's it. I mean, I left my job to do this thing.
That's right.
It's pretty simple. I mean, Adrian as well is going to be full-time, George as well, myself, and eventually we will have people working with us, starting from Mike.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be the first person that once we get rolling well, we get finance and help, and we have people working with us, and obviously people who work with us at the moment, because they
will
are
have the first preference,
willing
obviously,
to work with us,
because
because they believe in us, then obviously you have the first preference of working with us.
when it comes to paid up work. So, I think
That's enough with our factor too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Now it's
thank you.
obviously we've seen already he started posting here,
Yes,
there, Mike. So,
yes.
so he's on the ball already. Mike, we would like to thank you for being with us. Looking forward, obviously, we'll be in touch much more than before now. And obviously looking forward for our first casual race in our Factor 2.
Thank you very much for having me. I can't wait to get started. Anyone who is into our Factor 2, get people aware that we are going into our Factor 2 here at World Code Racing. Make sure you all share this video around so everyone's aware. Let's get the news out. Let's get the community growing, guys. Can't wait to get started.
Great stuff. Thank you.
Mike.
Thank you very much, Mike, for being with us. And looking forward, obviously, to work with you in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully years to come.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to continue with our live show, so I'm going to stop pressing my control button because Mike will not hear me, but I'm going to release it now, and he can hear us. Follow us on the live streaming.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks.
So, my fingers. So that's what quite a good and informative, detailed talk about our next move with our Factor 2.
Yeah.
I say again, I'm very happy because I've known now Mike since January when we started the Porsche, and then I said to myself, but why not? Why not asking Mike? And he accepted, and I'm very sure that you will enjoy the events. And so our Factor is not expensive to buy. I don't know how much it is. There's a link sent by Mike Pittman on our live chat. In fact, if you click on that link, there is the sale of our Factor 2, which I don't know how much percentage there currently is, but it's around, there's 50% off, which is just $14.99. I spend those on cigarettes already a day.
But actually, it's obviously it was $29.99.
You know what?
It's $14.99 now.
That $14.99 might lead you to a seat in motorsport.
Yeah, but that's right. And obviously, then there are the mods.
Okay, and there are mods which are not official, and there are official mods, but which you have to purchase by our Factor 2 Studio 397.
But I think it's a good investment, definitely, to do.
Yes, if you are committed to race and are willing to dedicate some time every day, if you can, obviously depending on the amount of work and your schedule, your shift, if you are willing to commit yourself to a number of hours in sim racing, and you are willing to enter into the real world of motorsport,
that's right.
Our Factor and the $14.99 is a good investment. Now, obviously, once we get this rolling, our Factor 2 is not the only platform that we will be organizing events with. We will be also, and we are also in communication with Race Room, and definitely stop.
I'm just
those are not jelly beans.
Because I just opened them, and I would like to have a look at least what there is.
So we're going to use also Race Room and eventually iRacing, which is a professional simulator as well. But maybe someone asked why you don't keep just one platform. We cannot, because the community is separate in different platforms, and we want to reach everyone.
Yep.
If we keep going, there is Gran Turismo, there is Forza, but we're going to keep, so far, we're not saying that the other platforms, we have nothing against other platforms, but in our opinion, our Factor, Assetto, iRacing and Race Room are the current platforms that we are intending to organize events with, and then depending upon the community, we move along with your requests. So, I think the next event is the casual race.
Casual race tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have the endurance casual race, which we have already another dropout due to work reasons. So we are around 9 drivers, which I'm not happy about it, but I mean, I did all my best and shared the event for quite.
It's actually
long,
tomorrow, which is
find the link exactly to the casual race, which is here. If you are interested in joining in our first endurance casual race, which is 90 minutes, you can go to simracingmalta.com, and there's in the front page there is the casual endurance race tomorrow at Le Mans.
Yeah, at Le Mans.
90 minutes.
We have a 15-minute practice.
As usual.
30 minutes qualifying, and then a 90-minute endurance race, as Justin well said. We have 2 cars. We have the Porsche 911 RSR 2017 and the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2016 for those that like LMPs.
A faster car.
But obviously there are people that like to drive LMPs also.
Yes. So
it's an LMP one, yeah?
Yep. Go to the website, and obviously tomorrow there were dropouts as well because there's the England game, and obviously even I side with Italy, but even if Italy were playing, I still organize the event because motorsport for me comes first.
We're both Italian fans.
Yes.
But obviously we might have a little bit more fever, but we're still going, we keep on going with our events.
When I come to choose between soccer or football, call it whatever you want, and motorsport is my life.
Our natural choice is definitely natural now, is motorsport.
I play football myself as well, and I have the tuch of the laham. I have the cut of the meat.
Cut of the meat. After a football match.
After
actually, it was a social match between.
Yes, in fact, we can
with
mention
the involvement of local sim racers in Malta and their friends and their families. You know, it was we organized a quick thing, a quick 6-a-side game,
a
football match 6-a-side last Monday.
and
Actually,
we're going to do another one next Monday.
Yeah, next
probably.
Monday, probably. But it showed also that the young sim racers are not very much good at their breath because they were having a lot of breaks. But definitely it was great to have them with us.
It's a community building as well.
Yeah, that's right. It's this was fun. It's another way to meet, away from our simulators, away from our steerings and screens and monitors, obviously to socialize also. So, important, if you know anybody, tomorrow for this casual race.
Yes, that amount, we're not going to stream it live.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's not going to be that much of an intense race. It might be, because obviously there are still drivers racing, but if you're going to remain with those drivers, I'm going to still monitor the race myself. We do the race, so the other drivers will have fun, even if maybe they have cancelled meetings or something to race. I'm not going to drop the race.
No, the race will
especially
still happen,
for you, because if you applied for it, you wanted to race, so the race will still go on, and we will not live stream it, but I will take highlights from the race and during the race photos as well, and publish also everything on the Facebook for everyone to see. If you know any friends, just tell them show them the link to register. If we have at least 20 drivers, it would be much better, and we can stream it live, because I mean, having 10 drivers, and there's Joshua commenting, I mean, how long you're going to comment with 10 drivers for a 90 minutes race? So it wouldn't be interesting to watch. So the race will still happen, but it will not be live streamed. If we have at least 20 drivers, if you can share it,
even less, it's like 15
even 15 drivers, it would be great. In fact, they are mixed. There are half of them they are hybrids, and half of them they are RSRs. So it's interesting. But if we have more, at least 15 drivers, we will stream it. We will stream it live.
Yep.
This is our first endurance race, which obviously Assetto, the current Assetto, is not suitable for endurance racing because there is no classes and stuff like that. And obviously Assetto Corsa Competizione, it will be different from this, and it will have multiple classes. And so we will do endurance races as well. We see how it goes with Assetto Competizione. But definitely we will do endurance racing with the new endurance pack by Studio 297, our Factor 2 platform.
So, we have announced now the dates of the TCR
Yes,
Championship.
there are the announcements of the SEAT TCR Championship, which you can find on the website if you go to worldproracing.com.
So it's gonna start happening every Monday, as we say, every Monday on Mondays, as we said before. But now there are the definite dates. So on the 23rd of July, we're at Brands Hatch Indy, 25 lap by 2 reverse grid race, and obviously with a pit window. On the 30th of July, we're at Monza with an endurance race of 60 minutes plus 1 lap. It's actually double the tire wear, two times the tire wear.
Yes, exactly.
So obviously they need to pit and
The tire-
even think about your strategy. So
Yes.
on the 6th of August, we're at Zandvoort, 15 laps again, and with a 15 laps with a reverse grid and pit window. Then on the 20th of August, we're at Laguna Seca with another endurance of 60 minutes plus 1 lap, same tire wear as Monza. 27th August, Zolder, again 15 laps reverse grid with a pit window. And the last race will be on the 3rd of September at Watkins Glen, which will be a 60-minute plus 1 lap endurance race. So looking forward also for who will be winning this.
Yes, and something
Championship.
that we have to announce, which is we just came recently. I've been discussing with this company to collaborate with us and offer us a prize to the winner. First of all, we have prizes by GT Omega Racing, which is powered by GT Omega
Yeah.
Racing, and obviously now we have another
You've
contributor
been,
and
seeing
partner
me
with
playing
us,
here with all these
which
pieces.
is 3drap.it. It is an
Yes,
Italian company
company.
who are doing various mods to various steering wheels
and equipment, because even for gear shifters.
Yes,
so-
yes. In fact, they have sent us as well to do a review of about several mods that they've done
Yeah.
with 3D printing and
3D
various other
printing, yeah,
things. I'm
that's
very looking forward to work along with 3drap.it.
They have mods here, pieces of mods for Trustmaster.
Yes, yes, we're going to show you. Thanks very much to Beniamino, who I've been communicating with, and he was happy to offer us this that you are seeing
yeah.
on this screen. Hello, Beniamino.
Beniamino, hello.
Grazie. I speak in Italian, but sometimes I get stuck.
Grazie Beniamino per essere ovviamente parte pure del nostro campionato.
He understands also in English, because we discussed in English. I understand everything word by word, but sometimes I get stuck. I'm not fluent in Italian. So Beniamino offered us this GT3 steering wheel by 3drap, which
here.
is Adrian is going to show it to you, and
Yeah.
let me switch the camera. You can see it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's with a carbon look.
Carbon look and with the pedal shifters at the back.
Pedal shifter. It is suitable for Logitech. In fact, I can go back to the website, and there you have all the info about this device offered by 3drap. Thanks to again Beniamino and all his team. So 3drap will be partnering with us as well in the SEAT TCR Championship, and I'm sure that this will result into more partnerships in the future in other racing.
Yeah, here actually I'm
And-
seeing.
So that is the first overall winner, thanks to 3drap. And also we have the prizes by GT Omega Racing, the main prizes, We have the seat by GT Omega, and also for second and third the backpacks. I will put up also, because I didn't have much time today, to put also the prices of 3D Rep. That's why I show them to you much more in detail. So visit their website 3drep.it. They have various steering wheels, mods, and stuff.
As you can see here, I have a lot of stuffs which I have. Logitech hubs, you know, Trustmaster hubs for the steering, G27
pedal upgrades
for
the Trustmaster,
like these small things here, which are obviously
we're going to do a review. We're going to do a review about these.
We're just showing them what they have. It's a great selection of 3D printed products, and definitely I think we're
the T3PA is the Trustmaster.
Yeah, Trustmaster. So it's a great selection of various mods they do.
Thank you again, Beniamino, and we are very happy with this because companies are collaborating with us, and that's why I'm happy. We're not going to take the steering wheel, we're going to give it to the driver. So I mean, it's not for us that we're doing it for the drivers. People know how our live broadcasting are done professionally, the same as watching on TV. Talking about TV, we are still working about it to have our events being aired on TV as well.
On a TV channel.
On a TV channel. So we're doing whatever comes to our mind, we're doing it. Because what we're doing is to see the sim racers, if they didn't get an opportunity because they didn't have the budget or for any other reason, we are there. We are the pipeline, we are the hub to bring you or take you there and enjoy yourself and achieve your dream of a lifetime. We also have next week if I'm not mistaken, our next task is the championship, the Porsche Championship, right?
Next round is on the 6th July.
On the 6th July, which is next week. If I'm correct, yes, next week, Friday, we have the Porsche Championship round 5. Currently, obviously, we did the first 4 rounds, and Hani Al Sabti is leading the championship. So we have no idea yet who's going to win it because the points are very close, and obviously the more closer we come to the final round, then we can obviously, if we might yes,
people
and we might
at us
not.
And make us thumbs up. Hello Joshua, if you're still here. And
today we did not have that much questions.
And
we have Italians as
well. We have Italians here also. Thank you for obviously following us
and of course.
Us.
And hopefully we have 2 weeks more in this studio style. Hopefully
2 weeks to 3 weeks.
These are the last few live shows that we're going to be airing from our temporary place. So we showed you the images last time, our studio where we're going to broadcast. Everything completely new. We have a new place. We're going to have a professional broadcasting studio, and definitely we're not going to see this temporary place. Obviously, without the place of George, our partner, who offered us his place. I work from here, and so when he finishes from work, we move the tables and we do the banner and we do this and that and many other things. And hopefully, we have only a few live shows left to start with in the new.
It depends how hard we work in the coming weeks now.
Yes.
We've been working hard for now 2 months.
I mean, in the studio, because we're
in the studio we're talking about now. We're on the studio subject, so hopefully we'll be soon there. Obviously, I would like to thank also the people helping us, our team that come there to help us. Our sponsors, which are helping us, and also new sponsors coming abroad. We'll be obviously announcing them in the coming weeks. So thanks to them, we can also have these new studios and obviously keep us going in what we're doing. So definitely without their help, we won't be here. So I think I need to thank all our sponsors.
Yes.
So Continental Cars Limited company, there with us from day one, supporting us all the way. with the Porsche Championship and obviously with the Porsche experience we're giving.
In fact, I forgot to show them the video.
Yeah.
So we'll watch it later.
That's right. Textor, also supporting us
Providing
from day
the
one.
hardware.
GT Omega Racing, he's supporting us big time. Thanks much, Leo, for supporting us and being there with us in our championships and other support to obviously our team and all the rest. Melita.
Yeah, of course. Melita.
Melita. Great service, great internet. As you can see what's happening here, how you're seeing us live at home. It's thanks to them with their great fixed internet. We also use their mobile.
Reliable. Yes.
Yeah, we use also their
and
mobile service,
and
which is great.
I always say it again. We don't say this because they're our sponsors.
No,
we are proving it because it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
They have a great service. Even me at home, once I had a problem with the modem, they just came and upgraded the modem to the new one. So that's the service you would expect from when you're paying for a company and great support. Thanks, Melita. Obviously, we have other sponsors like Goliath Coatings, who's supporting our casual races, and
Virtual
Race Car Engineer and Setup Developer Tools 2018.
Exactly.
They're also supporting our casual races.
And also now 3D Rep.
3D Rep is now on board, also with us from this week. So another great company supporting us.
Yeah.
Great company doing these mods. And also we cannot forget, obviously, who's supporting us with some hardware that we've tried. And
yes, of course.
tested
Yes.
before.
Obviously, if companies are watching, if they want to be part of our events, they can contact us to see what we offer.
Yeah.
And our rate cards, so they can see where they can, because obviously this has to be something which is related to motorsport, but even something that the people use. I mean, it doesn't have to be a motorsport related.
That's right.
But I mean, we're all humans. We all do something else. We're not just we don't live in motorsport only.
Yep.
So I mean, all advertising is real. We have proof of our views and reach. They are good. I'm happy with it, but I'm not happy with it at all. Not 100%. Obviously, we need
We're
more.
happy. Listen,
we're happy so far.
So far, we're happy. So that's
with
that's
the current community that we have. Yes,
we're happy.
Yes, we're happy. But obviously, thanks to Mike, who will be increasing the community of sim racing, especially in our factor, and I'm going to have to stop using a lot my hands. I'm watching myself using my hands.
You're like a washing machine.
Yes.
Like this. You can use them, no problem.
When we're excited, that's what happens. When I'm excited, I get hyper and I get very excited. So thanks all the sponsors, those who are with us and those who are not anymore, but with your help.
No, I think.
I mean, no, I say with
anymore.
us and anymore. I mean, they support us in a race and they don't support anymore because they were interested in doing a championship. That's all.
Sure.
I mean, not because we went
anything
against something wrong. But obviously, all those who sponsored us and who are currently still sponsoring us are really helping us. It's not just to have the cash and that's it, you know. People know. I'm not going to mention any companies, but people know that we promote as much as possible our sponsors.
Yep.
And we do much more than they deserve. But we do more because once you're helping us, why not? We don't help you. So thank you everyone. Thank you for all the supporters who are watching us and still are watching us up till now. So we're not talking for nothing or we're talking to the camera. I forgot. Yes, so sorry, I forgot because I'm seeing it right now. There's the endurance pack giveaway of our Factor 2. Thanks to Marcel who offered the pack for the overall winner. There's an Factor 2 endurance pack giveaway. All you have to do is follow those options, like our page, like Facebook, our Factor 2 page, etc. And the more you click of those, you more you have entries, and you have 13 days left to to participate. So sorry to interrupt, Adrian, but I couldn't
No problem.
miss that
Definitely.
giveaway.
So, thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching us. Once more, thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for being patient with us. But great to be here, talking to you, interacting, having discussions, various discussions opened. Today, actually, we did a very strong hour plus of discussions. Thanks to Mike for being with us also today, and we'll be hearing Mike and seeing Mike much more often with us now in the future with our Factor 2. So we'll be seeing you next week.
Today week.
First of all, possibly we might be seeing them also tomorrow. We'll see
Yes.
how it will look about the casual race, but definitely
Share our event.
share our event. That's important.
For maybe somebody who's
Yeah.
just joined us now, we have a casual race tomorrow. It's an
Yeah.
endurance casual race in the Le Mans track with the Porsche 911 RSR 2017 and the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2016. So you have two different kinds of cars, types of cars, one
Yeah.
Olympi and the other one which is a GTE class. So if you know any people, share it with them. It's in Assetto Corsa, so we have a good number of drivers, and if we have at least 15 drivers, which currently there are 9 or 10, if we have at least 5 more drivers, we will stream it live for the community to see, because having a 10 grid drivers for Joshua, our commentator, it would be a bit boring to watch.
Yeah.
And unless it's professional, if it's not professional, we don't do it at all. Okay,
So, thank you for
thank
being
you.
with us. We'll see you definitely next week with our live show. Next week's casual race.
Next week's Porsche Championship.
So we'll be seeing us a lot. Thanks for following us. See you. Bye bye and have a good night.
see you.
Gigabit Internet issa f'Malta. Gawdi mill-Giga Power biss mal-Melita Flexi.
Open the door! I can't collided! I don't believe it! Into the wall! And it's lights out, and away we go. And it's the dash down to turn one then. Who's going to come out on top?